You guys doing?
What's up, Josh?
Not much.
So happy to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good. Just at home, chilling.
Okay. You getting some of this nice East Coast weather right now?
Yeah, it's like 65, 70 degrees. So it's pretty good, until winter hit us and it's like 20 and 30. So I'll take it.
Yeah, soak it in, soak it in. Well, thanks for doing this. We really appreciate it. I know you had a really busy day today. This is new. This is brand new. It's our second episode, and you were at the top of the list to get you on. So, I know Darren and I have just kind of really enjoyed watching you play and getting to know you as a person. You've just really shown very brightly, I think, this past year. So, thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you. No problem.
And
Darren,
the
yeah.
video just so we can maybe promo it a little bit. We'll take some short clips, but really it's obviously an audio stuff. So, but it's cool to have the video so Danny can promote it when she edits it and all that good stuff. So, yeah, she's right. We were excited. You're also, I don't know how much you follow college baseball or anything, but the dude, Jaden Hill, who may be like a number 1 or number 2 pick overall from LSU. He is also on this one. So it's you and him, and then a guy who was the former vice president of scouting for the Mariners. So it's the 3 of you guys. So there's a lot of different perspectives. He's a dude, man. He's a couple years older version of you. He's got high level skills, down to earth, and he'll probably, like they say, Kumar 1, him 2. Unless Baez jumps into those top 2 spots, you never know. So, but anyway, I wanted to tell you who's on there. I wanted to tell you who's on with you.
Sure.
What's going on? What else is going on with you?
Just pretty much school, 5 days a week. I'm going to school, like, inside. So it's just that in the mornings. And then after school, it's just lifting for like 2 to 3 hours. I go with like a group of guys, and then we just get it done in like 2 to 3 hours and come home, eat, do homework, and repeat.
Got it. Yeah, and the more cold it gets, you just get your workouts in and get ready to play again, right?
Yeah, just trying to get ready for the spring. Just working on my weaknesses in the cage, and just lifting pretty much, just working on my body for these next 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. You just played in an event, though, right, in Staten Island? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually went down to New Jersey with the Boston Blue Jays team, and
yeah,
coming in second place, it was pretty cool. We actually had a team from like full of Boston guys, so it was like a small team, but we made it all the way to the championship. It was really cool.
Yeah, and they didn't pitch to you at all?
Nah, I got walked like 4 times, and they hit me like 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see a homer. I see a homer on the stats. I see a double and a single, but I see like 9 or 10 times on base and 13 plate appearances, something ridiculous like that. Is that right?
I actually got on base a lot. Yeah, I was just trying to either get a base hit or just take my walk if they didn't want to pitch to me. So.
Very good. What else, D? You got anything you want to warm him up on?
No, I think the key for this, Josh, is to feel free to expand on anything that you're saying. This is a podcast, so you get the chance to kind of give us all the details you normally wouldn't. We have more space here, and we want you to speak as long and freely as you want. Don't feel like there's a time restraint. Darren and I have both spoken to you, and we just want to share who you are and what you're about with everybody else, and the the people who are interested in your life and the person besides the athlete. So feel free to speak very freely and as long as you'd like. Okay.
Got it, for sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we will get started. Josh Baez joining Amateur Hour, and Darren and I have gotten to know you really well over the past couple years, and I'm so stoked that you're here. I know that it's a really big time in your life, important time in your life, 2021 grad and committed to Vanderbilt. I know that you didn't just pop on the scene. I know that your name has been circulating around, but I know that you've put in the work And so for those who haven't been able to be behind the scenes with you and watch you come up through Boston, Massachusetts, and make your way all the way to the All-American Classic, walk me through what you have been doing to prepare you for the moment that you're going to hear your name called, or just, the moment that you were chosen for the All-American Classic. What kind of work went into becoming Joshua Baez?
Yeah, so I kind of been kind of a low-key guy, coming in from Boston, from freshman year all the way to my senior year. I kind of just been taking like baby steps, like little by little, and, just training a lot and just trying to perform in games, just trying to get people to really see that I could really play, and I had to do that like event to event. And like, I didn't really want to, get too, so crazy with myself because I knew that I was like ranked, like 300, 500, whatever it was, like freshman year. So like, I was just trying to go down like little by little and just trying to perform as best as I can every single summer. And that just came with a lot of preparation with the off season, every single off season from freshman year all the way to junior. And I got the chance to compete this past summer, and it was an important summer for me. Obviously, I went to PG National, went to a couple of big events that, that meant a lot, obviously, for the PG All-American game. And in those events, I just had to just have fun and just ball out. And, that's exactly what I did. I just had fun, and people just started just like noticing me, and they started seeing that Boston had talent, that maybe Baez was one of those kids that could potentially be one of those All-American kids. And I was fortunate enough to be selected to the All-American game, and I definitely had fun over there down in Oklahoma. So it was fun.
You are very striking. I think if you look at on a diamond at a scouting event, people will notice you, and you stand out very much just by your size and your stature and the way that you carry yourself. And when you crack a smile, I mean, you've got 1,000-watt smile. And we had Tom Allison on, as Darren mentioned, who was the VP of scouting for the Mariners. And he talked a lot about what the it factor is. What does it take to become a major leaguer? And behind the scenes, Josh, you're telling us all this work you're putting in, and you're going to Vanderbilt. It speaks for itself, a commitment like that. For you, what makes you tick? Why do you love the game? What do you have that will get you to the major leagues and keep you there?
I feel like what's going to get me to the major leagues is my work ethic. If I feel like I can accomplish something, I will put that in my system, in my head, and I would just try to do anything I can to accomplish that. Let's say if I want to throw 90, I'm going to do whatever it takes to throw 90. And the same thing goes for the major leagues, or same thing is going to go to have a successful career at Vanderbilt. I'm going to put in the work as long as it's going to take me, or whatever I have to do, I'm going to have to do that. And whatever path, if it's a straight line, or if I have to take a little, if I have to go around a little bit and to maybe get there, I'll do that. But, just know that I'll get there because of my work ethic and my grit. That's something I have, and I've always had that.
So the one thing I noticed in you had a great conversation, me and you and Zion Rose, who's a super sophomore, who you played with for the Ohio Warhawks team in the WWBA. And the one thing I watched in who you were and watched how you responded to the young man was you celebrated others' successes, if that makes sense, right? In your space, being competitive is everything. Even as a broadcaster, we compete with one another for jobs and for opportunities. But it clearly was evident that you were thrilled for who he was as a player, not threatened by him. You enjoyed his successes. You knew he was next. He would be you next. So where does that come from? To be celebratory of others' successes while you're still busting your butt to make sure you be number one, because that's a great quality, man. To celebrate someone else's successes is a great quality.
I know baseball's not an easy sport, so, I respect everybody who puts in the work and who wants to get better. And when I see athletes that put in the work in the classroom and on the field and lifting and working out, and they do the same things I do, and they have the same goal I have a lot of respect for them, because it's not an easy job, and it's not a job. It's kind of something that we're just passionate about, and we just play for fun. But we all have that goal to play in the major league. So when I see those guys who actually put in the work, like, I know what it takes to be a high profile guy. So, and it's not easy. And when I see those guys, like I give them a lot of credit because, you know, just as much as I did it, you know, they're doing it just like me trying to get to the spot I was. So when I see those young guys, like I really want them to make it to where I made in my PG career or after that. And that's really much it. I just respect them a lot.
So the funny thing about it is to me, if I'm listening to you, you feel like you're still an infant though. Even though you're celebrating someone who's younger than you, you feel like you're just starting to scratch the surface of who you can be, correct?
Yeah, it's basically totally right, you know, because I'm just finishing up on high school and feel like I want to play for 20 more years. So just getting started.
Yeah, but here's the reason I say that, because before we rolled and pushed record on this interview, you talked about, I'm working on this winter, all my weaknesses. Like, you're fully aware of your weaknesses. You know what they are. You know the things that you want to grow in, strengthening your strengths and erasing your weaknesses. I mean, so to me, that's what was cool about what you're talking about. With that in mind, what do you think one or two things that you really want to scrub away as part of your game and negate as far as growing your weaknesses? Look, you're not supposed to bring somebody on and ask them about their weaknesses, but I think it's so cool for someone who embraces the fact that we fail all the time in this sport. So what are one or two things this winter that you're really working on when you say, Sut, Danny, I want to grow a ton in this area? What are they?
Yeah, so me as a big guy and a Vanderbilt commit, they obviously pitch to me backwards. So they pitch to me and like any pitch could come in any count. And that's something I had to obviously get used to as I got older and as I got stronger. You know, people will look at me and they'll come 0-0 curveball, you know, 3-2 curveball, and they'll come a lot of off speed. So like I just had to really adjust to that, you know, to hit any pitch on any count. And that's something I just want to be, you know, just want to be comfortable with and loose to hit any pitch on any count. And another thing would be just having more contact, you know, just always being able to put the ball in play, you know, that's pretty much it. Just trying to make the defense work, because I feel like it'll be tougher for a grounder, you know, they actually have to field it and throw it across the diamond. Then it'll be just me looking at a pitch and striking out. So just putting the defense to work, and that's pretty much it.
So, Josh, you and I spoke in June at Hoover, and we had a great conversation. I feel like just in the 5 months since June, 4 months, I can't count, whatever it is, I feel like you have already grown a lot as far as just like confidence, but also just being able to explain it and talk about yourself. Just a thing I'm noticing right now. I don't know if that's something you've worked on, but I am noticing it from our conversation. But you and I also talked about your mother and how big of a cheerleader that she's been in baseball and life. So tell us about your mom and what she has done for you and why she is so important in your life.
So my mom is so important because I've always been with her, obviously. So my two siblings, they moved out, so it's basically just me and her. So I'm kind of like the baby of the house, and you know, I'm always around her, you know, like every time I'm not training or I'm in school, like I'm spending time with my mom, because I barely spend time with my mom. You know, she's always working, you know, like right now she's working. So she'll get home by like 10:30 at night, and sometimes I'm sleeping when she gets home because I'm tired from a long day. So she's always been there since the beginning, you know, she's always supported me through, you know, when I first started playing baseball up to now, you know, like, and she's not the one that's pushing for me to maybe sign or to go to Vanderbilt. You know, she supports whatever I want to do, and she's one of those moms who just really puts a lot of time and effort into everything I do, into my meals, into my nutrition, and I just really appreciate her a lot. You know, I can call her whenever I want, and she'll be there to pick up the phone and have a conversation with me. So she's the one. She's my number one fan. She's always been.
Interesting. And God bless you both, you guys, for having one another. Is it Iris? Is that her name?
Yeah, it's Iris Baez.
Iris Baez. What a beautiful name. And that's amazing. She's fortunate to have you, but vice versa, obviously. And it sounds like that in your younger journeys through life, Boston, then to the Dominican Republic, and then back to Boston. What are your recollections about moving pretty dramatically? Look, a lot of young people move, right? But what are your recollections and challenges and positives about having to move a couple of times to basically different countries as a young man.
Yeah, so it was really tough. I was born here, but we moved, back to the Dominican Republic when I was a month old, and then came back when I was 11 years old. Like, I had already done 6 grades over there, and I was already used to the Dominican Republic. Like, I didn't really know much about Boston. Obviously, I was born here, but I grew up most of my life over there. Like, I would just come for like a couple weeks and come back. So when I came over here in 6th grade, I was 11 years old. It was like really hard because I didn't know English. I came into a new school, new environment, new city, new country, and I just had to adapt really quickly. And it was really tough. I was, like one of those guys. So I was like 5'2", 150 pounds. Like I didn't really have the confidence to like speak up to people, make friends, and that was something that changed over time as I got older and as I got more comfortable and with talking to people. And playing baseball obviously helped, but like that was just, like it wasn't like the only reason. Like I was the one that had to like speak up to people because sometimes like people don't, like they didn't really speak to me. So I had to like be the one to be like, hi, my name is Josh, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was tough, but I got used to it, and it's been a great story to tell.
So there are a lot of really incredible stories that we get to hear of how, different athletes have adapted to playing for a major league team, guys who have come from different countries and whatnot. And you did it at a younger age. You came to the United States and had to adapt, which has its own, trials and tribulations. Is there someone who is in the big leagues now that you have looked up to or spent time kind of observing how they take care of business? And who is that and why?
Uh, Somebody in the major leagues. I don't really have somebody in the major leagues, but I have people, like around me, like my friends and some of my family like, that I know that, that they move, they're basically the same thing. So it's basically the same thing, they moved out here, and they didn't know any English, and they had to like get jobs, they had to do this, and it was a struggle, obviously, but they moved past that and they overcame that, and now they're successful. They have a house, they're living a good life. So I feel like it was the same thing for me. At the beginning, it was a little rough. I didn't really know English, blah, blah, blah. And now, I'm at the point where, people actually know me all around the United States. And it's pretty cool because like a couple years back, it wasn't like that. And, I'm just grateful for that.
Is one of those guys, and I don't know if this has been his journey, but who has impacted you that you look up to, your coach Christian Ortiz? And if so, tell me everything about him, because this is a name that's been mentioned from travel ball coach to coaching you in high school for a little while. This is a name that is tied to you a lot as a real positive influence. Explain why.
Yeah, so I have two guys. There's Christian Ortiz and Johnny Hernandez. But I'm going to start off with Christian Ortiz, obviously. So he's been the guy, since I came here, he had his own league. He founded in 2014. I came in 2014, but I didn't join his league until like 2016. So two years later, I was like 13 years old. And I started playing fall ball with him. And I was just, I was like 13 years old playing on a 19U, like fall ball league. And he seen that I could ball a little bit, but he knew that all I needed was somebody to just hold my hand and guide me in the right direction. And that's exactly what he did. He helped me through nutrition, in the weight room, baseball. He mentored me with school. He just always been there, since I was in 7th grade. And he's been one of those guys that's just been by my side, ever since. And, I'm really grateful for him. He puts in a lot of hours with me. He's always put them in. He gets nothing in reward. He does it because he cares about me and because he truly wants to help. And Johnny is another guy. Johnny is like one of those guys, I don't really mention, but is one of those guys that I know. And his son actually plays on, he's like the third baseman and first baseman for like the Houston University. So he's a senior now. But he's been one of those similar guys. He actually coached me in Little League. He, he just, he's really close to my family. And he just always, comes over, eats with us. He throws me BP. He's like one of those guys I can call and, he'll like if I did something wrong, you know, like he'll be like one of those guys. So like, he'll get really mad and then he'll yell at me for hours. But you know, like, he's one of those guys that appreciates me and spends a lot of time with me into my training. And I just really appreciate both of them because they've been. Without them, I don't know where I'll be. You know, I don't know where the Josh Baez would be without them.
Oh, that's super cool to hear. I want to know something about you, Josh, that no one else knows, something that I can't find on the internet, something about you that has nothing to do with baseball. What do you got for me?
Hard question. Something that has nothing to do with baseball. Okay. So I don't know. I just started doing this, so it's not something I've been doing for a long time. But so like me and my friends, you know, we go to like the driving range and we go play golf. And you know me, like I'm gonna have a baseball swing and I'm gonna miss like a ton of them, but you know, at least I'm gonna get 2 or 3 out of the 50 balls I get in the bucket. So I'd be just trying to just launch the ball like 500,000 feet, and we go at night, so we actually get to see the ball just flying. You know, they look like a little ball just flying everywhere. And you know, like that's just like one of the things I do on like a Saturday night that I would just go to just have fun with my friends. And you know, I miss a ton of balls because I can't keep my head down. It's like so hard to do it, but I get at least 2 or 3 that are really good and they're moonshots. So that's something that maybe nobody knows. I post some videos sometimes, but not really. You know, I just keep it low key with it.
Great answer. Love
So,
it.
so D, where is this interview going in order? Have we already heard from Jaden Hill in this podcast? Have we already heard from him?
I think we're going to do Jaden, Tom, Josh.
Yeah, so don't edit my question out. I don't want it to look like we're all produced and organized in this. So, Josh, here's my question then. Jaden Hill talked about eating, and he's a big guy like you. Like, there's a lot of Jaden Hill out there at LSU, and he's gotten older, and he needs to eat a lot, though he's getting more and more into clean eating. He's getting older, all that good stuff. Who feeds you? Like, there's a lot of human being there, and I've got to know how you get after it and some of the good meals you have around your house.
Well, it's my mom, you know. I told you that she takes care of all my nutrition. So we actually just go to the store and we get everything we're gonna eat for the whole month. So we
Nice.
actually have 2 fridges. We have 2 fridges because I eat so much that it didn't fit in one fridge. So we have 2 fridges for the winter, just for the winter. And we eat, obviously I'm Dominican, so I eat a lot of Spanish food. So rice, beans, any type of meat, you know, cooked, you know, because we cook it differently. And I don't know how to explain it, but I can say it in Spanish. I don't know. So
Go ahead, say it in Spanish.
Yeah, please do.
So there's, you know, carne asada, guisada, there's pollo frito, there's like a lot, you know, meatballs, you know, everything. And I have 6 meals a day, plus 2 or 3 of my protein shakes. So that's something that I eat every single day, 7 days a week during my winter. So that plus lifting is what gets me to look the way I look. And I just eat a lot of Spanish food, and sometimes I eat fast food, but I don't really eat fast food in the winter because, you know, it's not good for my body. I try to keep it healthy and just try to eat home-cooked meals.
I was going to ask,
so
what's the
cool.
fast food vice? What are you going with when you do want to have a cheat day?
Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. There's actually like one in Boston, so that's like the one I go to.
Awesome.
There's one in Boston. I love it. There's just one.
Yeah, there's just one. It's like 25 minutes away, so I go.
And 72,000 Dunkin' Donuts, but just one
Oh
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. That's exactly. Iced coffee. That's exactly what I get in the mornings. You know.
Nice, man. Nice.
Awesome. Josh, this was great. Darren, are you good? I feel
Wow, this is outstanding. Yeah.
Amazing. Dude, thank you for your time and you know, sharing your life with us. You're so fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. You know, and that was just like a little part of it, you know. And you know, like there's like so much to tell in the future, you know. All you gotta do is just give me a call or shoot me a text and we can arrange that whenever you guys want.
We will.
Absolutely. Dude,
All right.
We will.
tell your mom we said hi and thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me.